Hello everyone! Today I'm here to do another author-related video. So I've done a couple of these in the past. I've done one on Sarah Dessen and I've done one on Sophie Kinsella. Today, the author I will be talking about is Kasie West. So basically in this video, I'm going to tell you all about Kasie West books. I'm going to tell you what every single one of her books is about. Then I'm going to tell you my favorite of her books, working to my least favorite. And I'm also going to tell you which ones I would recommend you read and things like that. So these author-related videos are just that. All about the books that author I'm talking about has written. Like I said, I'm talking about Kasie West today. These are not all of the Kasie West books. There are 3 books I'm missing in this pile because I don't own all of her books, sadly, but I will insert pictures right here for you to see. So I'm going to first start by telling you about every single one of her books, and I'm going to do this by publication year. So I'm going to start from her earliest book, working my way up to her most recent release. Kasie West is primarily a YA contemporary author. 6 of her 8 books that she has written are contemporary books. However, her first 2 she ever wrote are actually paranormal, and they are a duology. So the first book I'm talking about today is Pivot Point, which I have read and really enjoyed. Like I said, this is a paranormal book. So this is all about a girl named Addison who can see into the future and see like different outcomes a choice that she makes can have. So basically in this book, her parents force her a decision to either live with her mom or her dad. Her mom lives in this paranormal compound where where Addison has actually grown up all of her life, and she's with people that are like her, that have paranormal abilities. However, her dad is moving outside of the compound and living with regular people. So Addison decides to look into the future like she can, see how different outcomes there are. So basically she can look into the future and see how it would be like if she lived with her dad. She can look into the future and see how it would be like living with her mom. So basically that's what this whole book is about. It's paranormal. This girl can see to the future and kind of decide deciding factors of that. So I really enjoyed this book. It was a strong first book by her, and like I said, it's paranormal. The second book in that duology is called Split Second, which I haven't read yet. I did own it, but I just never read it, so unfortunately I had to give it away. It continues on with the story of Addison. I obviously can't tell you too much about it because it would be spoiling the first book, but I do know it continues on with Addison's choice, whatever that may be, no spoilers, and it also really focuses on her best friend a lot as well, so we have kind of a dual narrative going on there. So there you go. Those are her first 2 books that she ever wrote, and they're paranormal, much different from her contemporary that she's written a lot of. Her first contemporary book she ever wrote is called The Distance Between Us, which I have read. I have read all of Kasie West's books besides that one book I just mentioned, Split Second. The Distance Between Us follows a girl named Cayman who actually helps in her mother's like doll shop. Like her mother sells these dolls, and she and her mom are very poor. They lived a very poor life. They really have to scrape by, and then one day a guy named Xander walks in to buy a doll for his grandmother, and quickly him and Cayman enter a relationship, and she can tell he is clearly made of money. He is rich and his family is rich, and that kind of really affects their dynamic of the relationship, with her being not so well off and him being very well off. And basically that's what this book is all about. So there you go, that's her first ever contemporary book. And the next one is On the Fence. I actually just recently read this book. This is all about a girl named Charlie who has 3 older brothers. Got for a dad. Her mother has passed away a long time ago, so she's very much a tomboy. She loves playing sports. She loves being a tomboy, and then one day she is forced to get a job because of a speeding ticket she has, and she gets the job in this kind of girly boutique, and she learns maybe that she likes some of girly things, but she's still apprehensive to admit that to her brothers and her dad because she's so much of a tomboy at heart. Also, she is kind of falling for the neighboring boy who she also kind of considers a brother. Every night they kind of go to the fence, like she'll be on one side and Braden, the guy she's interested in, will be on the other side, and they'll really like delve all into their feelings about things between like on the fence. And basically this book is all about Charlie coming to terms with who she really is, also dealing with the grief of losing her mother. Then we have the fill-in boyfriend. This is all about a girl named Gia who gets stranded pretty much at prom. So her boyfriend was supposed to meet her at prom, and they end up like breaking up right on the spot, and she has no prom date. Also, she was supposed to introduce her boyfriend to her friends. Her friends have been hearing about this boyfriend for so long, they're starting to think that he's maybe made up. So Gia is ultimately like, what am I gonna do? She then sees a cute boy in the parking lot, and she asked him, will you be my fill-in boyfriend? She doesn't even know this guy's name, and so basically what what starts is a relationship of like being fake boyfriend or fake girlfriend. Like he'll need Gia to fill in as his girlfriend for this party, and she'll need him to fill in for a boyfriend at this party. So this is literally the title, the fill-in boyfriend, like the fill-in couple. It's like almost like faking a relationship. We have P.S. I Like You. This is all about a girl named Lily who writes one of her favorite band's like song lyrics on her desk one day at school. Then she comes back the next day to see someone has continued on those lyrics. So what starts from there is a pen pal situation where these two quickly write back and forth, and they're learning more about each other, they're falling for each other, but they don't know who they are. So it's kind of like a You've Got Mail spin on things, which I really enjoyed. And the last two I'm going to talk about are her most recent releases. So these are the two books that have come out this year in 2017. The first one of that being By Your Side. This is all about a girl named Autumn who gets literally locked in the library for an entire weekend. Her and her friends were having a study group. She ran into the library to get something. Then the library closed, and she is stuck in for the entire weekend, and then she realizes that she is not alone in the library. A guy named Dax is in the library with her, and he is the notorious school's bad boy. He has been in a lot of trouble. You've heard that he's been in juvie, he's been in other things like that, and it's all about their relationship and getting stuck in this library for an entire weekend. Which honestly sounds like an amazing time to me. I mean, stuck in the library. Yeah. Lastly, her most recent release, this one just came out literally last month, is Lucky in Love. This is all about a girl named Maddie who wins the lottery code essentially. So basically she turns 18 and she decides to buy herself a lottery ticket and she wins. And she quickly learns that the money is a good thing and a bad thing. It helps out her family a lot, who is very much struggling. Also has a huge crush on her coworker at the zoo named Seth. And she has not told him that she has won the lottery because she's realized that it's really affected her life and her relationships in her life. People are starting to come up to her to expect things from her. So she decides not to tell Seth. So basically this book is all about winning a lottery, discovering who you are, and how your friends and relationships are kind of affected by that money that she's won. So there you have it. There is all the Kasie West books, minus 3. Imagine there are 3 right here. I do want to quickly, before I tell you my favorites, tell you about her upcoming releases. So right now on Goodreads, she has 3 upcoming releases slated for next year, or maybe more. I don't know. One of them doesn't even have a date on it, so I'm going to try to go chronologically. The first one that is slated to come out is March 2018, and that's called Love, Life, and the List. Basically, this is all about a girl named Abby who is an avid artist, and she's failed a lot with artists. I think things have happened. Decides to give herself 1 month to do 10 things on this list, ranging from like facing a fear to kissing a stranger to falling in love. I should also say on Goodreads it says that this is a first book in a set of standalone books that have crossover characters in it. So basically we're gonna get 3 books that kind of have a crossover characters. That doesn't mean you have to read all of the books in order, or even if you don't want to read all of them in order. I just want to throw that out there for you. Next one is slated to come out in summer 2018, and it's called Listen to Your Heart. And this is all about a girl who reluctantly agrees to do the school's podcast of doling out love advice, and she learns that giving advice about love is really, really hard, and also receiving advice about love, I don't know, it's about podcasts. I'm a sucker for podcasts. Other one is called The Sun, the Moon, and the Truth. This one is all about like a fake celebrity social account, things of like that nature, I think. This one does not have a date on it at all. So those are her 3 upcoming releases that I know of right now. Some of them, like I said, I know the dates. Some of them I don't know. So now I'm going to tell you guys my favorite Kasie West books, working down to my least favorite. So favorite book of hers by far is P.S. I Like You. I love that You've Got Mail spin on it. I just found the romance really incredibly adorable. This is my favorite of hers by far, and I've read the majority of her books. This one is just my ultimate favorite. Then I really love her most recent release, Lucky in Love. I also love the romance in this one as well, and I really loved our main character. She had such a great heart. She loved working at the zoo and loved animals and wanted to be a vet. I just really loved her overall. This was a solid Kasie West book in my opinion. Then next is one of her older ones, and that is On the Fence. I loved our main character as well. She was really struggling with who she wanted to be and figuring out more about herself. I also loved her family dynamic with her 3 older brothers. I thought it was awesome. And By Your Side, I love this one mainly because Autumn deals with anxiety in this book, and you really get to see how she deals with it, and her anxiety really resonated with my anxiety. So I really loved her, and her name's Autumn. I love the name Autumn so much. I want to name my daughter Autumn. That's how much I like the name, but I found this to be a really, really cute one as well. Then also I want to mention her paranormal book, Pivot Point. I read that a long time ago, but I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was an awesome paranormal book, and I've read quite a few of those, but I still like like the kind of notion of looking into your future and seeing the different outcomes and like the decisions you can make based on those. Of course, the one I can't mention on here is Split Second because I haven't read that. That's her only book I haven't read. And then I'm gonna talk about my two least favorite Kasie West books. The first one of that being Fill-In Boyfriend. I really did not like the main character in this book at all. I found her to be very abrasive, very controlling, very just wanting to manipulate things. I just didn't love the romance in this book. I found it forced. I just found it fake. I don't know. I just really didn't enjoy this book, honestly. And then my least favorite of hers is actually her first ever published contemporary book, and that is The Distance Between Us. I read this when it first came out years ago, and I just really didn't enjoy it. I don't think a lot of people enjoy it, honestly. When I hear about Kasie West books, a lot of people say it's one of their least favorite books, and I completely understand why. That book, I just felt the romance was really forced. It was just really kind of, the characters weren't that great. They weren't fleshed out, but yeah, there you go. Those are ranging into my favorite to my least favorite. Now, for my recommendations, which one I recommend you read first? Honestly, my two favorites. I think these two would be great to start off with. They're both really cute, adorable contemporaries. Now, in my opinion, because I do read a lot of contemporary, you guys know that, Kasie West is, I would say she's one of my favorite contemporary authors. She's not one of my ultimate favorite contemporary novels. I find her books to be really cute and fluffy. Not a lot of depth to them, which isn't a bad thing at all. Don't hear me say that's a horrible thing. If you're just looking for a cute book to pass the time and make you smile, Kasie West is the author for you. She just doesn't have, I feel like her characters aren't fully fleshed out yet. I feel like her characters are the most strongest in these books. They're a little bit more fleshed out than her previous ones, so I can see her growing as an author, making her characters more fleshed out, having the plot have a little bit more depth, so I definitely see a ton of progression, which is amazing. But I'd say, you know, if you're just looking for a cute, fun, like, contemporary read, Kasie West is a great author. I mean, they're super quick reads also, I should mention, but yeah, I would recommend these two. The ones I would kind of steer clear from are my two least favorites. I would say, I don't know, I just really didn't love the Fill-In Boyfriend. The main character was just my main problem with this one. And these two are good contemporary reads by hers. I don't say they're my favorites. I would say I like On the Fence more. By Your Side's kind of a mediocre one. On the Fence is a little bit more enjoyable, but you know, take whatever I say with a grain of salt. Everyone has their own opinions. I'm just sharing with you my opinions. Overall, I really love Kasie West as an author. I really look forward to reading her books and enjoy them when I do. They just put a smile on my face, and they're quick reads, and they just make me have all the heart feelings and things like that. So there you are. There's my authors related video on Kasie West. I hope you guys enjoyed and got some more information, and hopefully I helped to recommend you some books of hers if you're interested in checking her out. Let me know what other authors you want me to see do in an authors related video as well, because I really do love doing these. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more bookish videos from me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.